What's up, everybody? It's your boy Stevie the Black, STEVEE, the Black. I'm back, and I'm here to give you my next uh Austin era pay per view review, and that is D-GenerationX In Your House, the final pay per view of 1997. Um, so without wasting any more time, let's just go ahead and let's just get right into this thing. Remember, I'm grading all the matches on a scale of 1 to 5. And then I'm gonna give my final grade for it. All right, here we go. So the opening match, we had Brian Christopher taking on Taka Minanuchiku in the finals for the light heavyweight championship, aka the cruiserweight championship. But back then it was called the light heavyweight championship. Um, I thought it was a pretty good opening match. Obviously, we all know Brian Christopher is Jerry Lawler's son, and I thought Jerry Lawler was going to get involved and try to help his son win. And while he did get involved, he didn't help his son win. Like, his mouth was bleeding, so he went out and checked on him, made sure he was good, and he threw him back in the ring. But that was pretty much it. In the end, Taka Minanuku ended up winning the match. I thought it was a pretty good opening match. I gave it a 3 out of 5. My only thing with it is I thought the match went on a bit too longer than it should have, and I thought he did way too much glowing. Like, every time he would knock him down, he would glow and do all this sort of thing, and I was like, that. Why do you keep doing that? That's completely pointless to me. And obviously, at the end, when he tried to go for his finisher, he took too long, and Taka was able to overcome and win the match. So there we go. Next match, we had a 6-man tag team match between Los Barricas and the DOA. Los Barricas ended up winning the match. One of the members, I can't remember his name, he faked an injury, and while the referee wasn't looking, he came in. He helped his team win the match by hitting a leg drop, and Los Pericas ended up winning the match. I gave it a 2.5 out of 5. It was okay. I didn't. It wasn't a terrible match by any means. By any means, it was just okay. Next, we had Marc Mero versus Butterbean. I think they called it a tough man match. All it was a boxing match. That's all it was. Um, Basically, what happened? I want to say every time the round end, Marc would do things by getting cheap shots in on Butterbean, and then in that third round, Butterbean, unloaded on him and everything like that. Um, and then Butterbean ended up winning by disqualification because Marc Mero hit him in the balls. So he gave him a low blow. I thought it was, again, I thought it was okay. What did I give it? I gave it a 2 out of 5. I mean, it was kind of awkward. Like, Butterbean is actually a boxer, and the fact that I don't know if it was acting or if it was just he really looked that bad, but you know, it's whatever. But I can tell by the way it ended that it was probably not over yet. Next, we have the New Age Outlaws taking on the Legion of Doom in a tag team match for the tag team titles. The New Age Outlaws would end up winning after once again the Godwins came in and interfered and helped the New Age Outlaws win. I thought that feud was over. Apparently not. And looks like that's going to continue on. I gave that match a 2.5 out of 5. Thought, again, so far, besides the Brian Christopher opening match, I mean, I'm not really that much impressed. I mean, it's just been okay, been an okay pay-per-view. But then it starts to get better because we have Triple H taking on Sergeant Slaughter in a boot camp match, which is basically no disqualification, no count out, got a pin in the ring. And, actually, it was a pretty good match. I cannot lie. It was a pretty good match. I was interested in it, all the way. And the whole time, China is out there, right? And she's, and I'm thinking, well, why isn't China getting involved? It's no disqualification. And first of all, I'm thinking, why wouldn't Sergeant Slaughter brings someone out to help him to keep an eye on China. That would only make sense. You are the commissioner. You make the rules, so have somebody out there as your bodyguard to watch China. But he did not do that. She interfered not once but twice in both scenarios where Sergeant Slaughter was going to win. One time she broke up the camel clutch, and the second time she blowed him, allowing Triple H to hit the pedigree on a chair and for the win. Again, I gave that match a 3 out of 5. I thought that match was very entertaining. It had me rooting for Sergeant Slaughter because, all the trickery of China and Triple H and everything. I was like, come on, Slaughter, you can do this. But unfortunately, that did not happen. Obviously, it was the right choice. But again, like I'm saying, if you're the commissioner, why don't you have backup out there to watch China? It makes no sense why you would go out there by yourself. Next, we had Jeff Jarrett taking on the Undertaker. It was a pretty standard match. Nothing too special. The match didn't really go on that long before Kane ended up coming out and choke slamming Jeff Jarrett, which caused a disqualification, which means he wins by disqualification. He then slaps the Undertaker, and then he leaves. And then Jeff Jarrett tries to attack Undertaker, but that does not go well for him. And Taker choke slams him, and that's that. So again, we're continuing the storyline, the continuing storyline of Taker and Kane. Even though we already know what it builds up to, I've liked the build of this so far. I want to say this: it's kind of ironic, really, in a way that Taker's like he's supposed to be this fearsome guy, right? But he's like, I don't want to fight my brother. Like, that's so crazy to me, That's so very human of him. And at the time, that's not what WWE was. That's very human of him to not want to fight his brother. But I like how they're doing this. So it's very good. It's very good. But as for the match itself, like I said, it was nothing special. So 2.5 out of 5. Next, we had The Rock taking on Stone Cold Steve Austin for the Intercontinental Championship. And when these two get together, it's always magic. Again, this is when he started calling himself The Rock. He was still going by Mikey Rabier, but slowly but surely he started calling himself The Rock. Obviously, the whole nation came out with Stone Cold. With The Rock. Stone Cold drove out in his pickup truck and took out the nation one by one. He even threw D'Lo Brown onto the car, and then he gave him a stunner on top of the truck. Then he threw what was it? Farouk tried to hold Austin, but he ended up getting hit by a chair, and then he threw the other guy into the truck. And for the times that Austin and The Rock were in the ring, again, it was another short match. It was like maybe 6-7 minutes, so it wasn't that long. So we're still not that far from Austin still recovering and from the neck injury, so I understand. But for everything that was involved in it, it was a great match. Austin retains the Intercontinental Championship, and as I said, whenever these two get in the ring together, they tell an incredible story, even if it is only 6-7 minutes. And I ended up giving it a 3 out of 5 because I enjoyed it very much. Obviously, it's not on par with their classics, but we ain't there yet. And then finally, we had Shawn Michaels versus Ken Shamrock for the WWE or the WWF Championship. This was actually a pretty good match. I gave it a 4 out of 5. Like, I think clearly Shawn was carrying the match, but still, he made Ken Shamrock look really, really good. And I know and here's the stupid thing that I always hate when WWE does this. They go, yeah, he may have been in MMA, but he's never been in WWE. That's like, he's never been in the WWE ring. And I'm like, why are they saying that? That sounds so dumb. I'm like, MMA is a real fight. And WWE is, well, we know what it is. It's basically a TV show, right? So for you to say, oh yeah, you've been in a real fight, but you ain't never been in this type of environment, that makes no sense whatsoever. That's like, okay, that's like somebody who played in the NBA, right? No, I'll take it back. That's like somebody who played in the NFL, right? And, I won't say that they were one of the great, but they played in the NFL, right? But then they went to the XFL, right? And it's like, yeah, you made a play in the NFL, but this is the XFL, and this is a different ball game. That's like, what? Isn't this a downgrade compared to the NFL? And that's not a shoot or a knock against the XFL, because I enjoyed it. And the rules were different and everything. But NFL is still the king. Let's not get it twisted. And MMA it's just a different level than the WWE, right? Like, I don't really watch MMA, or I don't at all. But I mean, come on, when they say stuff like that, it just sounds so dumb. It really, really does. But anyway, back to the match. I thought the match was pretty good. Obviously, Shawn was distracting the referee a lot, allowing Chyna and Triple H to jump and attack Ken Shamrock while the ref's back was turned. But as soon as Shawn was about to be put into the ankle lock, Triple H and Chyna came in there and called the disqualification. They beat down Ken Shamrock. But then, out of nowhere, here comes Owen Hart. He comes in and he's attacking Shawn Michaels. He's attacking him. So, I think that instantly makes him a babyface, because obviously we know what he did to the Hart Foundation and to his brother Brett and everything. Coincidentally enough, this is the first time we've seen him since the Montreal school job. But I thought it instantly made him a babyface. But although I don't know that for sure, I'll have to find out tonight when I watch Monday Night Raw. But overall, I thought, it was a good way to close the show. So I don't know if they're going to go with the Shamrock thing. I don't know if they're still going to be feuding. And I don't know where Owen Hart fits into all of this. So it'll be interesting to see. Remember, this is my first time seeing all this. So, I think so. I think it's all pretty good. So I thought the show closed out really, really strong. So my final grade for D-GenerationX In Your House is a C+. This is the first pay-per-view after the Montreal Screwjob. So I wanted to see how WWE would respond. And for the most part, it wasn't a fantastic show. I thought it had a great opening match. For the next couple of matches after that, it was eh. But then once we got to Triple H and The Rock and HBK, those final 3 out of the 4 matches I thought were pretty good. And then as for the Taker Jeff Jarrett thing, that was just more of a catalyst for the continued story of Kane and the Undertaker. So I thought that was great as well. So I thought they closed out the year on a good note. C+, again, didn't wow me, but still pretty good. So that is my review for D-GenerationX In Your House. Obviously, the next pay-per-view is the Royal Rumble, although that one's going to take a little bit more time for me to get to, because I have 4 episodes of Raw to get through. The Raw after this pay-per-view, the final Raw of 1997, the first Raw of 1997, and then the final Raw before the Royal Rumble. So we're looking at maybe, what do we in March? We're looking at maybe a month before I get to the Rumble, based on my schedule and how I do things. But we all know what happens at the Rumble. I'm not going to spoil anything in case you don't know. But if you're a wrestling fan, you do know. But just wanted to give you that little update. So pretty much that's about it. I will catch you guys next time. And if you're not down with that, I got 2 words for you. Peace out. And remember, like I said, D-GenerationX In Your House, thought it was a good show. C+. It was okay way to end the year. Looking forward to more. And I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.